All right. So guys, let's start. So what we will do in today's lecture is we'll firstly download the required softwares, okay, to write your Java programs. Now see, there are a lot of IDEs available in market. Many IDEs you will come across. For example, we have one of the IDE which is Eclipse. Now then later we are going to learn STS. We have IntelliJ, right? IntelliJ, and then we have VS. Okay, so VS, so this is another one. So a lot of IDs are there, and many students, what mistake they do, they select a particular ID and tell we will work only with this. The percentage share of these IDs will vary in every project. Even today some of the projects they are using Eclipse and STS are similar. But even today you will notice companies are using Eclipse, but not a very big percentage. Some percentage of companies today still they are preferring this. Now suppose you have never worked on it. Let's assume you never worked on it. And all of a sudden I'll tell you use Eclipse. Then you will not even know how to debug in that. Correct? So learning every tool is important. So during our course learning, almost all of these we are going to cover. Right? IntelliJ, of course, that's going to be one of the favorite IDE. When we work on the project, I'll definitely use this. In your advanced classes, we will be using this. So we'll learn how to debug a project in Eclipse, STS, IntelliJ. Later, when you're learning Angular, the front-end coding, then we can go with VS. Is this clear? So for now, we'll install Eclipse. So Eclipse IDE is used for writing Java programs in it. But very importantly, before you install Eclipse, you will all have to download JDK, Java Development Kit, which will give us the compiler, which is going to give us the compiler, and it is also going to give us the runtime environment. Right? There are two things we are going to get here. If you don't install this, you will not get Java compiler. If you don't have Java compiler, we cannot convert our Java code to bytecode. Eclipse will not do that. Eclipse is just a place to type your programs and edit your programs. In order to run that program, Eclipse will make use of JDK. IntelliJ will make use of JDK. STS will make use of JDK. And without JDK, this tools has no meaning. Did you understand, everyone? So we have to install JDK first. Now how to install JDK? Just go online and type here download JDK. Okay, click on this and you will see here there is Java 25 version, 21, 25, no problem. Anything above 17 version of Java, you can install that. It has to be above 17 version, because below 17 version Spring Boot will not work. So all the latest updates of Spring Boot is supported only on 17 and above. Okay, and of course our lectures we are going to cover till Java version 21 and 22. Though many companies are not using Java till 21 and 22 version. Java 8 is what it's now right now trending. Though it is very old, even today in companies Java 8 is only mostly used. Still we will go till 21, 22 because Java version 21 data structures concept was modified. Okay, array list, linked list, lot of features were introduced here. That's the reason we have added that as a part of our curriculum. Okay, now click on Windows and then you just download this Microsoft installer, MSI. Click on this, download, and after downloading it, double click on that, accept the agreement, next, and finish. So I've already installed that. If you just go to C drive, which is by default going to be installed here, go to program files, and in your program files you will see Java folder. Now you'll see a lot of JDKs I've installed. I have 17, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 is also installed. Okay. So any number of Java JDK versions can be installed in same system. Sir, I already have Java 8. What to do now? Don't worry. Okay. You see that all the folder names are different. So every time you install a new version, a new folder will get created in the same path. This is the default path. C drive, program files, Java. This is where your JDK installation will happen by default. We'll leave that to default only for now. So you will just get this installer file. You will double click on this installer file. Next, 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 and finish. Once your installation is done, guys, you will have to go to C drive and then you search for program files, and in that search for Java folder. This will all get created automatically. The Java folder in program files will automatically get created, and inside that you should see this entry JDK 25. If this is present, your installation is successful. Is this part clear? Now, the next thing that you need to do here is download Eclipse. Download Eclipse. Fine. So now you will go here to Eclipse and then you will just ensure the latest version of Eclipse is what you are downloading it. Fine. So you see here there is download, but very importantly, install your favorite desktop IDE packages. So let me click on download x8664. Just click on that, and if the download does not begin, click on it and wait for the download to happen. You see that I've already downloaded that several times. But anyways, we'll install this. No worries. How to install this, we will understand that now. Okay. Only after installing JDK, you have to download Eclipse. Okay. Because JDK is the one that will compile your Java program and run your Java code. But the place where to write your Java programs, for that we require an IDE. You want to do debugging, we require an IDE. Correct? So for that we are installing this. Again, any number of Eclipse you can install. If you notice on my desktop, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so many numbers of Eclipse already that has been installed. Correct? A lot of times I've installed it, and any number of times you can install. But let me just take you through the steps here. Double click on that and you click on run, and then you will see here one window opening up. Okay, one window opening up. Let's wait with patience, called as Eclipse installer. I'll not take you through the complete steps, but I will just give you an idea of it. Since I have a lot of Eclipse already in my system, I'll use one of them. Okay, now wait for it, and the right packages, the right things has to be selected for the installation. Okay, now once you do that, what students they do, moment it opens up, they select the first one, click on next, finish, installation done. No, the first option, if you're selecting, you can develop only Java code, Java programs in it. Keep this in mind. You will not be able to develop a web application. I want to use HTML, JSPs, then you cannot do that. Okay, I want to build APIs, you cannot do that. So in order to do that, you have to go with enterprise, okay, edition of Eclipse. Do you see that here? Read this very carefully, what is given. Got it? And you see very clearly there are web services, which means JPA. JPA means hibernate. Web services means APIs. Okay, web development, JSP pages, Java server pages, all of that is supported. So you click on this and then you click on install. Now see, by default, it is picking up JDK version 21. I've already installed JDK 21 in Java program files, C drive. Now this Eclipse will work only when the Java version is 21 and above. Can you see here what is given? Java 21 plus, which means any version of Java below this, Eclipse will not open. The latest version of Eclipse now requires 21 and above. Don't be in hurry. Carefully read the things what's given and slowly try to execute the things. Okay. Now If you now see all that I've installed, I can see the options here. In my system, I have 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. In your system, you might see only 25. Just select that and click on install. Now, once you install, guys, Eclipse will launch. So I'm opening up Eclipse here. One desktop icon will get created. Double click on that and that will launch. While you're doing this installation, you have to be connected to internet. Without internet connection, this installation will not take place. Keep that in mind. Internet connections are what? Mandatory. Now the first window that you see here is the window where we will configure all my project. Where do you want to save it in your local computer? Correct? So in my local computer, I have this G drive, and in that I wish to create a new folder which would be called as Jan underscore 15th batch. 15th underscore batch. Okay. So you see that by default in your case C drive would be selected. Better change that. Do not keep any programs in C drive because C drive comes with some restrictions as there is operating system. So there are some restrictions, certain programs will not work in C drive. Okay. But when we are working in advanced classes, you will learn daily code that you write. You should not keep it in local computer. You have to put that in GitHub and then only leave the company for the day. So this is a mandatory thing that GitHub has to be used on daily basis. Daily whatever code you are developing, push that to GitHub. Daily whatever code you are developing, put that to what? GitHub. Okay. So now I'm creating a new path, and this path here now is all about the place where all my Java projects I create will be stored inside this folder. Okay, let's click on launch. That's it. Okay, now Eclipse should launch and you're ready to now start writing your Java programs. So we will now look at a lot of shortcuts and we'll understand the shortcuts in detailed manner. Just go to your notes and press Ctrl F and type here Eclipse. So we are going to learn some important shortcuts in Eclipse. Debugging already I've talked about. We'll repeat that again in today's class because these all things will make our learning interesting and clear. And you'll not ask your friends that tell me how this program flow is. You will learn by yourself. Okay, that is the whole crux here, right? But at the same time, the IDEs will make you slow thinker because a lot of shortcuts are there and you might not be getting familiar with the syntaxes because auto completions you now know. You will stick on to that. But as a good learner, first time learner, writing down the programs on a sheet of paper should be followed for at least first 3 months. Okay, don't rely on the IDE directly because many times in interview they will give you a sheet of paper and tell write the program on the sheet of paper, and because you're so much used to shortcuts you will not remember the syntaxes that time, which I have seen and experienced students struggling here. So every bit of input given, take it very seriously. Okay, you'll get a welcome window. Just close this window, right? You'll get a welcome window here. Just close this window and let's create our first Java project. So you see here there's an option called as file. You just go to file. You just go to file. You can also install on Mac. You can also install on Mac. You can go to file. On Mac you will use DMG file. Student who wants to install on Mac, you see that there is a separate installation. Okay, you need to download the right one, but you can do that. Okay, but however advised people go with Windows operating system only because nowadays companies, whoever I see my students getting placed, they're getting only Windows laptops. So if possible you can install Windows in Mac, but the latest version of Mac does not support Windows. But if you have an older version of MacBook, there is Windows support, but the licensed one, the paid one, you can install. So you can bifurcate it, Mac OS and Windows OS. Okay, you can do that. But the latest one, if you purchased recently, the support from Windows is not given for MacBooks. Now let's go to file, let's go to new, and then you see here an option called as project. There's also a shortcut for it. Just press Ctrl N and then you can type here Java. This is one way of doing it. The other way of doing it is you can go to file, you can go to new, others, and you arrive at the same window. Okay, but if you want to use a shortcut, just press Ctrl N and then you type here Java. Now select this, and once you do that, give your project a name. But if you see here, the location where this project is getting created is the folder that I selected when I launched Eclipse. You can also manually change from here. After you have launched Eclipse and now you want to change the location of your project, you can untick this box, browse and select the folder where you want to. But I'll go with this default location. So now when I create this project, app_java_1, you see this is the folder getting created inside Jan 15th batch. Now select the JDK version. Don't use this Java SE. Just change the radio button to JDK. So we'll be using JDK that we installed before Eclipse, and that will be the compiler and the runtime environment to run my Java program. And then you click on finish. This is your first step. Is this clear, everyone? Now the Java project has been created. Now this perspective and all, you leave that. Just click on no for now. We'll see that later. I'll talk about that later. Let's not get deviated on what is SC and all. We'll come to that later. But now, after I do this, just expand your project. On this SRC, you can right click and you see here an option called as class. Now you select that and give your class a name and hit on enter. So we'll see now how to adjust the font size. As this font size is very small, if you want to adjust the font size in Eclipse, we will use Ctrl++. That will increase the font, and Ctrl-— will decrease the font. So as per your readability, you can increase or decrease. Ctrl++ to increase. Now we have certain shortcuts here which is very beneficial. The first shortcut is Ctrl+space, which is content assist, suggest code completion. Example, now I'm going to type here main, and when I press Ctrl space bar, it will suggest some content. And now when I select that content assist, automatically main method is developed. But remember, you double click on it and the window will expand. Okay, now suppose I type M in capital letter, then you might not get the same option at times. Be careful. Okay, what I have seen is main in lowercase, Control space bar, and you get this suggestion. Again, SYSO is the shortcut in Eclipse for system.out.println. Again, we use content assist and that gets auto completed. I hope this is clear till here. Now, one of the very important shortcut here, which will be very frequently used by the developer, is a shortcut to resolve errors. Now many times you see errors in your IDE, and what people they do, they directly prefer going to ChatGPT and trying to solve this. Earlier people were using Stack Overflow website, but today it is like people are using ChatGPT. Don't do that. Every IDE comes with some powerful shortcuts to remove errors. So if you just press the cursor, okay, mouse click and place the cursor there, press Ctrl+1, and Ctrl+1 will give you a suggestion how to resolve this error. If you observe here now, change the method type to int, and that's resolved, right? So suppose I have here string x is equal to 100. There's an error. Press Ctrl+1 and change the return type. So this is a very powerful shortcut and very frequently we'll be using it. Like in Eclipse we have Ctrl+1. If you are going with IntelliJ, we use Alt Enter. So every IDE has such shortcuts. If you are using VS Code, then Control dot. Okay, and it all does the same work. So if you're not good with the shortcuts and you're not familiar with your IDE, your code writing will slow down. Now, some of more important shortcuts, let's see this here. A quick fix. This Ctrl+1 is quick fix. Suggest solutions for errors and warning. Sometimes you see a warning and you want to see what this warning is all about and how do I solve this. So this suggests the solution that if we want to overcome this error, how do we do that? But don't expect that I will remove a semicolon and press Control 1 and tell give me suggestion. So you have to understand that such suggestions will not give you, because as a developer you should know every statement should be terminated with semicolon. There are two kinds of errors. One is the technical error. See, I'm just going ahead and making it as void. Now there's a technical error. Definitely I can use this quick fix and resolve it. But on the other hand, we might have a logical error. A logical error to solve, definitely we require debugging. Okay, you cannot solve the logical error without debugging. Your logic of the code has gone wrong, and where the code has gone wrong, what logic has gone wrong. In case if you want to understand that, then debugging is only tool. Okay, now let's proceed further. The next one, let's say I'm just taking this class animal. I'm going to copy this without even bothering about okay what this code is all about. Now my class name is A. When I paste this here, you see that there is an error. The error is because my file name is a.java and the class name is animal. It should match. This file name and class name should match. As of now, keep this in mind. Now, whenever there is an error, which shortcut will you use? Place the cursor, quick fix, control 1, rename the file to animal.java. Is the error gone? See that important your quick fix is now. Now, whenever you look at some classes, see right now whatever we are developing, there are only few lines of code. But when you join the company, your class might have lot of methods. Thousands and thousands of lines of code has been written down in that class. There are some 15-20 methods, 3-4 constructors, 7-8 variables, right? So now searching the code becomes difficult. Now you want to see what is present inside that class. So we just press Control O. And by pressing Control O in Eclipse, it just gives you everything that it has got. Like it has got a variable with a name, okay, with a name type string, variable age with a type int, animal, right? That's nothing but a default constructor. No, there's a constructor, sorry, there's a constructor here. Can you see that here now? With a type string and int. Can you see that here? Yeah, the complete content in one go. Then it has a method eat with a type void, sleep type void, breathe with a type what? If you just click on this, it directly takes you to that method. You cannot keep scrolling to locate that method. So just press Control O and that will give you a complete structure of your class. What all variables are present. If you see a C return, which means that's a constructor. If there is a data type return here, that's a method. Sorry, that's a variable. Now, if there is parenthesis around the name, then that's a method. That's a method. Can you see that here? And it's a constructor, there is C written down. Okay. And these are the return types of the method. Did you get this now? Everyone? This will become at times very beneficial when you're working on big files. Now the next thing is go to the declaration of the variables and methods. Now what do you mean by that? Okay. Now let's say there is a variable declared here. I have a variable here and I'm going to write here a variable. Let's forget about this plus and all. I'll just write here. For now I'll just add plus. There's a variable. Now I want to know where is this variable declared. Okay, somewhere I identified this variable in my code. Okay, somewhere at let's say line number 5000 I found this variable. Now I'm interested to know where is this variable declared. How do I find that? Sometimes this becomes very important. So in order to find where is this variable declared, you just place the cursor and press F3 on your keyboard. See, it directly takes me to the location where this variable is declared. Now, need not be variable is declared in same class. This variable is declared in some other class and I'm using it here. Now locating will become difficult. Correct? So what we do is we press F3 and it takes you to that variable. Just place the cursor F3. You see that? And we get to know where is this variable being created. It's been created here. I have a variable here. Now you press F3. You see that? Where is this local? See, today we are seeing only one line. But usually what will happen, the methods will have some 7-8 variables created, local variable. I'm creating one local variable at line 1, another local variable at line 20, another local variable at line 40. Then there are some 400 lines of codes in that method. Now suddenly at line number 350 I found out one variable. I want to know where is this variable coming from. Will you keep scrolling and keep checking? You will just place the cursor on that variable plus F3, will directly take you to the place where this variable was created, because I want to see what value this variable is getting and from where is it getting. So I want to go to the declaration of that variable, the place where it is created. Did you understand that, everyone? Yeah. Okay, now let's proceed further. Over the time, when you keep using this, you will automatically become familiar with these shortcuts, but you have to keep using this daily. Okay, now the next thing. Now I have one error here. Let's assume I have one error here, and I have one error here, and I have one error here. Now what I want to do is, let's say there are 3 errors in my file, and I want to jump from one error to another. One way is keep scrolling. Small file I can scroll. Again, the challenge is file is very big. You want to go from one error message to another. So you will just do control dot. You see that? I was on the first error. I pressed control dot. Does it goes to the second error? I'm on the second error. Control dot. Did it go to the third error? Imagine there are some 10 errors in your file and you need to fix that. Somewhere logic is wrong or something is wrong. So what you can do is you can just press control dot and that will take you to that particular place. Okay. So we have seen so far how this control plus dot it works. So let's proceed further. Now. Now we have all talked about debugging, isn't it? So let's quickly try to debug this code. What do you say? So I'm going to put here a main method. Okay, a quick recap because some students have missed our debugging lecture. Okay, quick recap. I'm going to create here one object of animal class. A is equal to new animal. Correct? I'm supplying 100 and then I'm supplying some value. What is that value? Okay, it's a string value firstly. A string value, that's Mike. And we are going to give here some value, 500. Doesn't matter. Okay, now a dot, I'm going to call age. I'm going to call a dot eat, and then I'm going to call a dot sleep, and then we are going to call a dot breathe. Okay, now please understand what are the controls, guys. If you want to put a breakpoint at line 26, you just double click and you see one small bubble getting created. Breakpoint, it means when you start your program in debug mode, your program will stop at line 26 so that I can analyze my code in slow motion. Okay, again I'm telling, see, there are all wrong approaches people might take where people will use animated videos, XYZ things. You see a lot of things happening on YouTube today to impress the audience, right? Some character will come, some things will happen, somebody will tell AI training and things like that. But see, understand, okay, as an experienced developer, the first thing that you should know is debugging. No animated video can come and explain your project when you join the companies. So this is the ground reality which I've told 100 times. So don't even expect that one animated video will come and explain you some 50,000 lines of project code. It is your debugging skill that's going to help you to analyze someone else's project. This is what I have been stressing. Reason, 90% of the time when you join the company, the project is already been developed by someone else. From last 8-10 years, they're developing that project. And now you're joining that project in between. And you don't even know what has happened. The only thing that can help you is one KT, knowledge transfer. A senior resource will explain the project code in high level manner and the flow of it. And the rest, debugging should do the job. That's serious it is. So every day when you keep using debugging for the next 6.5 months, you will start getting familiar with it. Okay. So I'm putting a breakpoint here, and what happens when there is a bug? Again, when you join a company, suddenly a tester reported a bug. Now, the debugging is the only tool that can help you, firstly, to find out where is the bug. Then you will do a research. What is this bug all about? then you will fix the bug. Now think about 50,000 lines of code, and there is one line, there is some bug, and you're not able to identify that line number at all. Correct? And when you don't even know the line number where the problem is, how will you fix the problem? And defect fixing, an entry level employee guaranteed he will do. For the resource 0 to 3 years, right? Beginners. Okay? Defect fixing is a very common thing. Okay, and they will report a defect, and then people will be wondering, seeing here and there what's happening. So be very careful about it. Anyways, now back to the lecture. See this here. So now when I click on debug icon, you see this debug icon here, you either click on this or you right click and do debug as. Okay, I prefer this option because sometimes clicking on it, it does not work. It picks up some wrong things. So better you right click and do a debug as. Okay, now you see where it is switching to debug mode, right? You see that now how the UI is. Now understand, by mistake I closed this window. I closed this window. I closed this window. Now student does not know how to get this window back. And now they will start doing a research on that. Accidentally close that window. Now what to do, how to get that back. So you will go to Windows and then you will go to perspective and you will select just reset perspective. Okay. And when you do that, you see that you get the original setup of your IDE back. Because I've seen many students, they close this off. And then they come back to me, sir, I'm not able to see Project Explorer, what to do. So just go here, perspective and reset perspective. Do you see that here now? Okay. Now, the first thing that I see here is my program is stopped at line number 26. Now, again, you're going to repeat this now. This is an object creation which will successfully happen only when constructor is called. Correct? So, now this window is called as a tracing window. This tells from which line, okay, which line of code is being called. Which line number am I at? 26. Now this is a constructor call. So I want to go to that constructor. So we use which control? Step into. You see that it directly goes to that particular constructor. Okay. So if you want to go to a particular block of code, then we do this. Then you do what? Step over, step over, step over. And now end of constructor, it goes back to the place from where it is called. And you keep seeing this line numbers changing here. Then you do step over. You see that from 27 to 26. Now from 26 to 27. Now see, when I do step into, can you just check this here? From line 27 I'm calling 14, isn't it? So you notice how clearly it is showing us the flow. Now when you do step over, now closing bracket, it goes back and stops at next line. Okay, so this is all we have done that. I hope people have gone through that. Anybody here not done debugging, please raise your hand. Everybody? Yes? No student is here in the class who have not attended my debugging class. Okay, good. So with all of these understanding now, we can make our learning more and more better and interesting. So that's where I'm going to start with a new concept next called as packages. Since we did not had any core concept covered today, we are still in a good position to understand further class of mind today. So what are we going to learn now is what do you mean by packages in Java, right? Let's start with this topic because after this I'll be teaching you inheritance. What are packages? What do you mean by packages? Can you tell me? What are packages? Okay, understand this way. In our day-to-day life, we create folders in our system. Correct? We create folders so that I keep my files organized. You have some movies. You'll create one folder. Keep all the movies in that. There's music. Right? Could be now because Arijit Singh has retired from playback singing. Some people would be now downloading that. Okay? Love failure people. And that sad song, they will be listening to that. Yes or no? Correct? So now, what am I doing here is I'm creating a folder. So that whenever I want to locate music, there's a folder with the name music, I can locate that easily. Same way, when you're working on big projects, right? There's so much of coding you're doing it. There is some coding for database you're doing. Some coding, it is to do with a logical thing. Like, I'm doing some coding related to sending an email, sending a SMS, sending a WhatsApp message. These are all my logical part of the code in my project. Some coding I'm doing it for the front end. Now, one way of writing this code is, as a beginner, you can write everything together and keep it in one place. That will become very difficult to manage the code. Yes or no? It will become like Bhel Puri. When you're eating Bhel Puri, if I now ask what all is there in Bhel Puri, please tell me. 100% you will not be able to give me answer. You will tell, हाँ गाजर है, हाँ प्याज है, हाँ ये है, right? But you will not be able to find out all the ingredients, will you? No. So if you don't use a folder structure in your project, just understand your project coding will look like Bhel Puri for a new person joining. Correct? He comes after a new person joins your project and he's like, what is this? Wherever he came in his mind, he started writing the code there. We have to keep our code organized. Every kind of code should be in a particular place. For example, in kitchen, all tea making items are kept in one place. Imagine sugar in one place, tea powder in one place, coffee powder in one place. That usually happens in the kitchen, right? And every day you wake up, you see that sugar is here. If you are regularly doing it, okay. Suddenly one day, let's say a relative of mine comes to home, he enters the kitchen and he's asking, where is sugar? I'll say that it is there. Then it's a very steep powder. It's so difficult to locate. But if I kept everything next to each other, it's like locating the things becomes easier. So this is what is the whole agenda. Packages are just like folders. There's no rocket science. I'm creating a folder and within that folders, I'm writing the program. Let's see this here. Now observe, observe, observe. Students, online students, observe here. Now what I'll do is, I will just go here and I'll delete this file for now. I'll delete this package by default that got created. Now I will right click on SRC. I'll go to new and you see a option called as package. Now whenever you give the package name, please do not give in capital letter. This is discouraged. Package's name should not start in capital letter. Second, package name should not be a Java keyword. Do you see an error there? Yeah? Are you seeing an error there? Please tell me. Yes? So you notice that there is an error here. The reason for an error is because you have used a Java keyword and that's precisely not allowed here. Are you understanding? Yeah? So you should not also give the package name as Java. This is also wrong, right? Not allowed. So next thing, when you're using packages, don't start with a number, just like variables. You cannot start with a number, but it can be a letter followed by number. Also, sometimes beginners, they use underscore. It will work, but still, packages should not be created like this in Java. As much as possible, go with one word convention. Okay? As much as possible, go with only one word convention. Don't try to do this now. Okay? New age. You try to do that. No. You should not use here. Is this clear? No camel casing. Use one word. So let me for now, practice purpose, I'll give it as P1. Then we will give meaningful names to the packages in our further advanced classes. So there is a, way we give the package names. Okay? You cannot give it abruptly however you want, because the name will tell what is present inside that. Yes or no? See, it's a hotel. So I'll call that as a hotel. So I know what is present inside the hotel. Correct? If I now say it's an apartment, I know what is an apartment. So the name has a lot of things behind it. So naming things is very, very crucial. Okay, we might take very lightly as a beginner. So usually, okay, what naming conventions follow, I'll teach you that in my Maven classes. When we learn Maven, that time I'll give you more clarity on this. For now, just P1 I'm using it. Now, if you right click on P1 and go to properties, can you just read this path? Read it loudly. It's telling I have created P1 inside this path. You see this button here? Click on that. Automatically that path opens up. I created a package, but in my system, what is created? A folder got created. Yes or no? We are telling package, package, but if you look at layman term, it is just a folder that I created now. Is this empty? Yes. Now let's do one thing. Let's go to P1, go to new, let's create a class. Now see, can you read this here? What is here? So inside that package, I'm creating what? Now if you notice, whenever you create a class in package, on the top of the class, a package keyword with a folder name and semicolon should be present. Now what does this signifies? That this class A is present inside the folder P1. If you now right click on it and again go to properties, suppose this button does not work, then the other shortcut is just copy it. Select Ctrl C, Windows R and paste it. It will directly open up that folder. Can you see that? Inside P1, a.java is created. Just go one step back, P1, inside that. That is why whenever you see on the top of the class package P1 written down or package keyword and something return, it means that is the folder physically within which my class.java file is present. That is a.java file is present. Is this clear? Yeah. Now observe. The next thing if you observe is I'm going to write here main. Hit on enter. Now again I'll go to P1, but I want to show you a few more things. When you click here, you just go back to project. Now in the project you see that there are two folders by default present, which I did not create. This is automatically created. SRC folder is the one within which your Java code is present. .java file. Can you see that here? This is present in which folder? But now we all know that Eclipse is running on top of JDK. So Eclipse is automatically compiling my Java code without even me doing anything. I'm just typing the code and saving it. Can you see the time here? When was this file created? 5:52 p.m. You just go back, go to bin, P1, a.class file is automatically created by Eclipse by using JDK. So I'm not worrying about compilation. Compilation is taken care of by IDE. I've seen many students creating a program on a notepad, then they try to type it, then they try to do something. This is all we will never do it in companies. Got it? So this is of no use. Okay? So don't waste your time doing all that stuff. If you notice the timing is 5:52, which means my program which is compiled is present inside bin folder. And my core Java program is present inside SRC folder. And in both the places you notice P1 folder is getting created. It is not in one place. Let's type here SYSO 100. Now see, what is the system time? 5:54. Okay, save it. Now right click, properties, click on this, and then after you just go back here, you see my file got modified at 5:54, which is Java file. Now you go back, go to bin, go to P1, a.class file is also now been what modified at. So this is the bytecode that I was talking about in my earlier class. My Java compiler is automatically compiling this code, and after compiling this code, it is going ahead, right? After compiling the code, it is going ahead and storing that particular file in what? The bin folder. Now when you click on run button, you know what's happening? This is picking up my .class file automatically. My IDE is picking up the .class file and it is printing what? 100. Okay, but back to here, package P1 has class A. Now let's do one thing. Let's create one more package here, one more class in P1. So how many classes should be present in P1 now? Now you can split the screen like this. Okay, if you want to analyze something, just drag and drop. You see, it's telling how to split. If you do it like this, it will split into two screens. You can split your screen and you can see both the code together. Okay, you can see both the code what together. Are you understanding now? Now observe here, when you right click, you go to properties, and then after that you click here and observe in P1 how many classes are present. Two classes are present. Now observe, both the classes are present in same package, but there is no relation between this class. Okay, we'll talk about that further, but for now they're individual classes. Now class A object I can create in B. Okay, for now just understand this point, then we'll talk about subclasses and non subclasses concept in my further lecture. I'm creating object of A in B. Do you see any error here? There's no error because this class A and class B, when they're present in same package, you can access class A in class B directly, and class B object you can access in A. Since they are present in same folder, it is like there's one house, one refrigerator, everybody will access that refrigerator. Yes or no? Right? So house is like a package and the refrigerator is what? Everybody's. So it is like that now. Okay, I can access class, B can access A and A can access what? B. Very good. Now, let's do one thing now. We'll modify this a bit. What I'll do now, I'll create another package. Let me create another package, which is called as what? P2. And now in this package P2, I'm going to create here another class C. Okay, observe here now. So we have here class C. Are they in the same folders or different folders? How did you know that? Very good. Sir, I'm seeing this live. And that's telling me that they are present in different folders. Now let's do one thing. I will access A. But what do I see here? An error. So whenever you're accessing a class present in a different package, you cannot access that directly. Then how do we access, sir? That's where a concept of import comes in picture. Sir, when there is an error, which shortcut key will you use? I just spoke about this few minutes back. Quick fix. So go to that error, and which shortcut key will you use? Control 1. What is the suggestion it's giving? Select import. There are a lot of suggestions given, but I am going with the first one. And when I do import, what is the line added? Now see, there is a star. Be very careful. Whenever you modify anything in Eclipse, do not forget to save that. Okay? Many times students forget to save the file and they run, and then they keep telling, sir, it's not working, and they keep doing this small mistakes. Okay? So it is like when you see someone else driving the car, it looks so easy. But first time when you're learning to drive the car, that's where you know how difficult it is. Yes or no? Right? Now observe here. Next thing. Now, if you don't import this, what do you see here? Error. You can also type this manually. Import p1.a. And what do you see here? The import is done. Okay, everybody got this now? Now, there's another way to import. Sir, I don't want to use an import keyword. One way of importing is what? You go to the top here, use this import keyword, package name, and the class that you want to import. There's another way to import. What is that another way? Just go next to this class, and then use the package name dot. What do you see? The error is gone. Sometimes the syntax will become very beneficial for us. I will also give you a use case when to use this. Now you come here and type p1.a. Now what is the drawback here? I have to use this multiple times. But is the error gone? Please tell me, is the error gone? Right? The error is gone. Yes or no? Right? So now delete this particular thing and observe now. After deleting, what's happening? Error. Now let's press Control 1, import. What do you see? Error gone. So I want you people now to go ahead and practice this much. Okay? Now tomorrow's class onwards, we will be learning packages, and as we know debugging, we'll fully make use of that to make our understanding better and better day by day. Is this clear? Yes. Okay. Installation should be done, and the next thing is the in charge answer. Instead, I would like to speak. Could you please share your number? Let me know. I'll connect. Now today's class, is it clear for all of you? Did you understand? Whatever I'm doing daily. Prabhat, you call me today. My number is there in the group. You can call me today by 7:30. I'll connect with you and resolve your query. But meanwhile, other students and Prabhat also, this installation should be completed. You should not 7 days of the classes just watch and then you try to practice at once. So that's a very bad way of practicing. Okay, every day you have to spend maximum time on the IDEs to get familiar with it. Then only that speed of typing you will improve, because many times in interview they also see the speed of typing. This will also happen. The speed at which you're typing the code, it should not be a searching letters on your keyboard, right? So 6.5 months also work on improving speed. The program that you have typed now, the next time you should be faster. Next time you should be faster. That's where the shortcuts usages should become maximum. Are you understanding? That speed, when it improves, that is where you will basically, you know, start doing the work little quickly. Okay, bye guys, take care, see you again. So when we shift to application, we will soon. And yeah, LTS means what? LTS, what LTS? Huh? STS, not LTS. Did I write LTS? I wrote STS. STS is another ID. We'll see that in the advanced classes. Okay, just like Eclipse, copy cut of Eclipse only. It's Eclipse only. Long term, so no, no, no. He meant STS. See, by the time 6.5 months we spend, that is required only for backend. It's so lengthy. If you want to learn in depth manner, if you want to learn as an overview, then people in 3 months they will cover up everything. So, most of our people, students who gets placed, all of them are majority the backend code they learn, and there itself the placement starts very aggressively. Okay, we'll keep alumni meet this month. People have been asking me, you want to take away my Saturday? Let's keep it on 21st. Okay, this month 21st fixed. Is this clear? 21st Feb offline alumni meet will be done. Is this clear? Okay, people can come offline. You can directly interact with the recently placed candidates. I will inform the staff to start lining up the candidates for 21st Feb. Okay, right. Yeah, I've already covered. You did not attend my demo classes, is it, Shamim? I've taken 5 days. In that, I've spoken about the projects and all very clearly. You missed my demo class, I think. Please go through that. You'll get an idea. Okay, Shamim, go through the demo classes. Syllabus